In this video, I am going to talk about the importance of self-concept and hopefully encourage you to consider self-concept for many reasons, which I'm going to talk more about later in the video. But one of the reasons could be, for example, that you are struggling with your specific manifestations, or you are struggling to figure out what's preventing your manifestations. And self-concept might be the key, but that's not all. Self-concept has lots of benefits, lots of good things. And even though I'm sure a lot of you have heard a lot of coaches say that you don't need self-concept to manifest anything specific, like you don't need to do self-concept to manifest your SP or more money or health or whatever you are manifesting. And I do agree, you don't need to do self-concept to manifest, for example, your relationship. But in the video, I am going to give you reasons as to why that's a good idea, actually, even though you don't need it, but there's a good reason why you might want to consider it. So before I do that, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, help me spread this beautiful message, and send this video to people that you think might benefit from it. And so let's talk about self-concept and why it's a big deal. I think it's a big deal. Many of my coaching clients, actually, if not all, know that I am really big on self-concept. The biggest reason, and the first reason I figured out for myself, was how everything becomes better. And by the way, before I talk more about self-concept, my intention with this video is not to add more work to do for you, but to actually make life easier. And that was the first thing I noticed when I myself took self-concept seriously. And that is how my own manifestation journey started, actually. That's the first thing I've done, because that was needed, and that was really a good idea, and that is probably the best thing I have done for myself. Because what you manifest, everything you manifest, your self-concept is in it. Self-concept, as I have talked in a previous video, which I'm going to link up here, I think, and in the description below, self-concept is not just self-love. It's a lot more than that. That second part of self-concept is something that a lot of people don't talk about, and I have learned this from Neville Goddard, as everything else about manifestation, actually. And Neville Goddard talks about self-concept more like becoming the person who has the thing that you want to manifest. So if you think in those terms, everything you manifest has to do with self-concept. But in the manifestation community, when we talk about self-concept, it's mostly thought of as self-love, confidence, which, if that's the part you're going to take from self-concept and work on that, oh gosh, I highly recommend it, because you become a different person, and everything and everyone around you has to reflect back to you your new assumptions about yourself. Now, talking about self-worth specifically, a lot of people tend to jump to thoughts / assumptions like, I am worthy of love, I'm worthy of more money, I'm worthy of being healthy, etc. Which is a great idea if you have the doubt that you're worthy of it, that maybe you have been raised with the beliefs that you're not really worthy of anything good. So in that case, it's a really great idea to start with that to convince your mind that you are actually worthy of those things that you want. But in my experience with a lot of clients, I have seen a lot of people know that they're worthy, but like, for example, worthy of being loved or worthy of being respected, worthy of being treated with kindness, etc. For a lot of people, it's like, yes, I know I'm worthy, but I'm still not loved, I'm still not respected, I'm still not this and that. And with my experience, and it may be different for everyone, with my experience with clients, that has been it has mostly been that I know, of course I know I'm worthy, but I'm still not loved, I'm still not getting love. And that in and of itself is an assumption. So I always like to affirm my desires from the very end. Like Neville Goddard says, like the real pure Neville way of going to the very end. I am loved. I am loved. Of course I am loved. I am respected. I am always treated with kindness. I am always treated, fill in the blank. I am successful. I am wealthy. For example, do you see how many things self-concept includes? But if you are just focusing on being confident, being loved, being respected, being treated however you want to be treated, in the beginning, it may feel like the worst and the biggest lie you're telling yourself, but not to worry. It's like that with most manifestations. And just a quick note, this is the part where people think that they need to believe in their affirmations in order to manifest them. This is, if you test this and you persist, you will prove to yourself that it's not necessary. You can start out with something that is absolutely not believable for you, but if it's your desire and you persist in affirming the truth of it, in the course of your journey, the process of manifestation, you will first of all start believing it, because what you are doing by repetition is that you're convincing your own mind that that's true, that's real, that is your reality, and that it's only after that it appears in your physical reality. So, and with this, why I'm saying it makes your life easy, because your relationships start changing. I have had a client who came to me, she was manifesting an SP. Self-concept was a big problem, and she agreed, and we both agreed that she starts with self-concept only because it was absolutely necessary. And then after improving her sense of worth, her confidence and all that, we would go to manifesting her specific person, which is the specific manifestation that she came to me with. So we started with self-concept, and that relationship and every other relationship started to improve, and we never really got to the specific affirming for the specific manifestation, because she fell in love with the work of self-concept. She started falling in love with herself, and her relationship started improving. And that is what happens. And this is the case for, I think, everyone. It has been the case for me and for every client that I have worked with. It's with your coworkers, with your private relationships. They have to reflect back to you your new assumptions that say that you are loved, you are respected, you are treated with kindness and all the love and all the respect and everything. All that kind of stuff. And so you see that how it's a global thing. And for me also, everything else that you manifest, you start on a whole new level. So if you are continuously working on your self-concept, you're building the fundament first, on which you are going to build everything else. So manifesting, for example, a romantic relationship from a place of confidence and knowing your worth and knowing that you are loved and knowing that you can have whatever you want is starting on a completely new level. So that is one benefit of doing self-concept. There's one important thing that I personally haven't heard anyone talk about, but again, this comes from my experience with clients, specifically those who have manifested specific people, romantic relationships. I think all stories, I don't remember cases that have been different. Every single client and every single story from a client that I remember has been something like this. When we met, or some of them had a new manifestation and had manifested the person specifically. So when the person manifested, the relationship was amazing. The person was everything they ever dreamed of. It was everything they ever wanted. And then problems started. And when we continued digging deeper and deeper in their limiting beliefs, what I found out, again, I think in all cases, was that the problems that they were having in the relationship were older than the relationship. They existed way before they even met the person. So a lot of times stuff from childhood, but not only. We create beliefs, both good and positive and negative, in our adult lives also. But that's not the problem. The problem is that when your limiting beliefs around self-concept start to manifest in the relationship with your loved one, what you tend to do is, and please let me know in the comments if you have noticed that you do this, or if you think that it could be the case for you. What that does, again, let me repeat myself. When your limiting beliefs around your self-concept manifest in the relationship, you start making assumptions about your specific person, which is negative assumptions that you then have to undo. Like, for example, if you have limiting beliefs about yourself, that you're always being treated like this and like that by men or women, that in love relationships it always goes like this, or you fill in the blank, you know what you are manifesting, then that person there's no free will. They have to reflect back to you your own assumptions. So your person starts to behave in a way so that actually your mind manifests them behaving in a way so that proves your own assumptions back to you. And this goes, of course, with good assumptions also, but also with limiting beliefs, limiting assumptions. So now you have created an image of your specific person that you don't like. And now you have sort of more work to do, because everyone is us pushed out. And everyone is us pushed out means that everyone reflects back to us our own assumptions about ourselves and our assumptions about them. So when you want a specific person to change, you have to change the image that you are holding of them. So, and this is what I mean when I say that this makes life easier for you, because you don't manifest. When you create a really good feeling self-concept for yourself, you're confident, and you start manifesting those things. You start manifesting being loved, being treated with kindness, being respected, also from your specific person. And from that place, when you manifest a relationship or even jobs, because in your jobs you are going to have relationships with your coworkers, with your boss, etc. You won't have to then manifest the disrespect and then undo it by doing self-concept work, and then you have to change the image you hold of the person, because now that person becomes like that in your mind. Now, if this is the case for you, don't worry. We have all been there. I think we have all been there. It's okay, you do that, and this is just for you to know how important self-concept can be and how beneficial it can be. On the flip side, I have a lot of times, I don't know if that's the best word to use, but we're going to go with it. Clients who come to me who have relationship issues and self-concept issues, I often make them, again, quote unquote, use, bad word, but use their specific person to manifest a better self-concept. Like this. For example, if you're constantly feeling disrespected, maybe even because of the way your specific person behaves, in your mind, you create some sort of a scene or an inner conversation where the opposite is true. And for example, where your specific person specifically tells you that they respect you, that you are so respected or loved or whatever it is that you want to experience. What that does is that it changes the image that you hold of the person, if the person is the problem, and it creates a new sense of self. It's 2-in-1. It's a wonderful technique. I encourage you to use it. And I really hope that with this video, I have given you enough reasons to work on your self-concept, because everything and everyone around you has to reflect your self-concept back to you. Of course, also your own specific assumptions that you hold of people, but most of the time, those specific assumptions are created through the manifestation of your self-concept. So when you manifest a better self-concept, and this is an ongoing process, you always want to have more confidence. The more you, it's like the better it gets, the better it gets, and the better you want it to become. Even if you manifest a whole lot of confidence and self-love, etc., at some point you will want more, and you just manifest more. It's a wonderful process, actually. But then that is going to be on autopilot, manifesting from everywhere and everyone. And who doesn't want that? Please let me know in the comments if I have convinced you to work on your self-concept, even though you you don't have to be completely insecure to work on your self-concept, and you don't have to have a bad self-concept, but anyway, let me know. Self-concept is that one thing I always come back to, because there's always like something I want more of. And this is the case with manifestation in general. Your desires become bigger and bigger the more you manifest. And self-concept is like that too. So again, let me know in the comments what you think about self-concept, and if you have done any self-concept work. And also I really want to know if I actually managed to encourage you to work on your self-concept. So please let me know in the comments and subscribe to the channel, and see you in the next video.